Welcome back to another episode of the
Turn Up, presented by Great Roots, Season 4, Episode 5. Another good day in the neighborhood.
You know, we don't introduce ourselves anymore.
Oh, I am Roots.
No.
Oh. I am Farmer Mac.
And I am Roots.
Yes, welcome back. We talked about it, alluded to it a couple weeks ago. Talked about what we're doing in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
We've had with the youth group. We've been having them 2 Wednesdays. We started doing 2 Wednesdays.
2 Wednesdays a month with our little youth group.
Yep, and we have finally pushed forward and built out that front lot. We got 7 beds down. It's 2 of us versus 20 of those kids, ages 4 to 18, but they did a phenomenal job.
Yep.
Roots had them painting something I didn't think
about. They painted the beds.
Mm-hmm.
They planted some Swiss chard. They actually tilled up some of the land and put the boxes back, and so they're really engaged and they're like motivated.
No, it's different now from last year. From time they're actually coming down here. Tell them to stop wearing their J's and the Air Force Ones down there because they're going to get muddy. But it has been phenomenal to watch them get in there. And now the older kids are taking leadership roles. They're not asking for gloves. They're still, some of them are afraid of the chickens or whatever. But, it's good to see them in the earth, messing with the worms and not being afraid of bugs and pulling up weeds and stuff. So they're really internalizing that this is their seed to feed project. So it's really good to see that. And even with ours, our land, they're helping with that. We were able to till up, about 80% of ours. We did some research and redid the coop, put down a different flooring for them, so we can use that, I guess, what is it in chicken poop? Nitrate? Something's in there, but you gotta be very careful because the stuff we had, the bedding, the dirt, and the hay we had there is not as absorbent as the wood chips we're using. So that absorbs it so we can start using it. So I put it to the side, and now we're going to use that as a fertilizer too.
So now we got some fertilizer.
Yep, homemade fertilizer. So.
But the kids are really creating an awesome space. And speaking of creating, our guest today has created a whole vegan platform. We brought Chef Tata back because she now has opened up her own businesses, including a store, including a restaurant. And so we wanted to make sure we highlighted her and brought her back on here. So speaking of creativity, today we get to hear more from Chef Tata.
Yes. I think you had that shirt on before, so that's not creative.
Oh, I like to rewear my stuff.
Without further ado, here's Chef Tata.
I'm so excited to have you back. Chef Tata was on season 1 or 2 for us, and she gave us great information. Living a vegan lifestyle and how she's made it happen for herself. But since then, Chef Tata, so much more. So I'm going to let her tell us all about what she's got going on now.
Yes. Hi. Thank you for having me back. I appreciate being here. I love you guys. So right now I am officially 2 weeks open from launching a couple of concepts. I launched Alkaline Vegan Food Swings. It's a restaurant. Well, it's kind of like it's added on with a grocery, online grocery store. So it's a cafe grocery style type of concept. Then
explain that. What do you mean? Like wait, what?
So I do Alkaline Vegan groceries, and it's an online grocery store. We ship all over the world. We don't do international shipping yet, but we've been shipping some of everywhere. So I have that, and it's paired with the restaurant concept Food Swings, Alkaline Vegan Food. So it's kind of like the concept of a cafe grocery. The second concept is a taco fusion cuisine. It is everything tacos. It takes you on a journey through your taste buds. And then I am in the process of launching Ionically Sweet, which is alkaline vegan desserts. And we do things from beignets, donuts, nookies, which are cookies. We do stuffed ravioli with fruit filled and kind of like chocolatey filled goodness and things like that.
So it's like my face, like what?
Yes. So that's what I've been working on right now. And of course, my book that is launching on my birthday, July 2nd, it's a trauma cookbook. So it's like just touching on a lot of things that I've done to kind of, heal my own personal trauma through foods and different grounding techniques, meditation, and things like that. So that's what I got going on in a nutshell.
Mouth is dropped. It's open because I'm like way more awe than I would be when I got on here. So
Yeah.
just knowing your background, I know like you are really well versed in, vegan-based lifestyle. However, I didn't realize you had this like grocery-based,
Yes.
like, right, people can order from you. Because, sometimes you have this concept that like, I don't know what to order, right? Like, I don't know what to get. And so when you have someone well versed in it, they can kind of guide you and give you tips and give you suggestions or like, how to put and pair things together. So like, I know for people that are looking to move to that lifestyle, challenges like options and having variety. And so you're like, I got the expert right is helping my grocery shopping.
Yes. And then so with my grocery concept, with Alkaline Vegan Food, it goes along the lines of the Dr. Sebi Nutritional Guide. So everything has a pH of 7.4 and above. I infuse it with 108 minerals, which is what your body needs daily as a nutritional intake. And I do that by way of How to Vegan ATLs for everybody's sea moss. It has like sarsaparilla, bladderwrack, burdock root, gold, and a whole bunch of other goodies in it. So it adds to the mineral count that you receive daily. And I put it in everything, literally everything. But with Alkaline Vegan Food, you can't just go to the grocery store and find Roma tomato sauce that's not in a can. You know what I mean? Or just things that make life and cooking life or the kitchen life easier, as when you're going to buy regular tomato sauce or frozen goods like chicken patties and ribs and things like that. I just do it in a way that doesn't have any soy, no GMOs, no processed foods or sugars or anything like that. So
let's go back. So like when we first started chatting, you were a personal chef for the most part.
yes.
And my question is, we're going through this pandemic and most people have chosen to go to like this online platform, and you have to go to brick and mortar, which has not been very popular since the pandemic has started. So tell me about that transition.
So for me, with traveling some of everywhere just to do the personal chef experience or to even teach people different recipes for the restaurant because they're looking to implement alkaline vegan food into their establishments. For me, it's still kind of online because I have the online grocery, and it's not like I can just, there's still a 3 to 7 day processing time because I make everything right then and there. Like it's fresh. The only thing that is stocked is our freezer and pantry items, but things like mayos and our cooking simmering sauces, those are made fresh because of the shelf life. So we're not trying to get into the industry of shelved foods that just sit there for a long time. I want it to feel like you're getting a Chef Tata experience, but without me having to be in your kitchen. This way I can be some of everywhere. And when I stepped into the brick and mortar is because it was time. For me, it was just time. The right opportunity presented itself because I was never the one that wanted to own a restaurant. Okay. I was like, no, I don't want to be tied down to one space. But the way things were going and falling in place, it was that time for me to elevate to a brick and mortar. And in the space that I'm in, I'm able to launch multiple concepts. So it makes it more enjoyable for me being in one space because I can still be super creative with different concepts of what I'm doing.
So then tell me about the taco idea.
So with the taco fusion cuisine, it kind of takes you on a trip all around the world. So like it has African American, Caribbean, Blasian, like it just takes you on a journey of this type of cuisine mixed with that type of cuisine, international mixed with regional, like just I have this gumbo taco that is along the lines of the New Orleans style vibe. Like I'm just touching on different areas around the world and making it a taco party in your mouth.
And you guys remember, even though we're talking about tacos, Chef Tata is vegan and wait, so I'm gonna say vegan and plant-based. Are those the same?
No.
Okay.
So vegan, that's such a broad term because vegan just consists of the processed foods. It's like the junk vegan food type of deal. You know, the things that the Impossible burgers and stuff like that, you know. So plant-based, when you're more plant-based, or I like to think of myself a little bit beyond plant-based because I only use just the natural of the natural plants, you know, the originals. Like I said, that goes along the lines of the Dr. Sebi guidelines. So there's a difference there because a lot of vegan and plant-based still use processed foods. They still use things that have like broccoli and stuff like that, hybrid foods. And I don't use none of that.
So how would you define your dietary eating pattern?
Personally?
Yes. What would be if there is a name for it, if you had one?
Ooh. I'm a junk food eater. And not as in sweets or anything like that, because I'm not really a sweet person, but like I'll eat stuff that I'm familiar with, like chicken and waffles, you know what I mean? But it's out of fried oyster mushrooms, and then with the waffles I use kamut flour and spelt flour. So it's a healthier way of eating, but my mind, you know, it feels like it needs the junk food style type of vegan food.
But you're eating real. That's the catch, you know. I think for me, with my background in food and nutrition, and I'm a dietitian, one thing I always preface when I'm talking about eating is I tell people I eat real food.
Yeah.
You're gonna find a package in my house. You know, I'm not anything that's not like fresh, like your fresh fruits and vegetables, and then stuff I typically grow myself.
Yes.
And so, I do I'm a sweets girl. That's the biggest challenge, but I've done my best to do, to stick with chocolate. But to your point, when you're saying you're this, you consider yourself a junk food, I don't want to say if that's the right term or not, but you're having a lot of foods that seem to fit into the quote unquote junk food area, but real ingredients. That's the difference.
Yes. And that's what makes it exciting for me, because it's like, I can still have these mental things that I crave, you know what I mean? But in a way that promotes life instead of death.
It still nourishes your body completely.
Yes. And then like I said, everything's infused with 108 minerals. So you're getting the good food on top of your daily mineral intake.
Well, look at that. Now, we talked about the online store.
Yes.
The tacos, and then talking about the sweets. Now, this is what I really want to talk about because I'm such into sweets. I want to get part.
Yes. So with the electricity, I don't even know what the right word is. Electrically charged desserts. My whole concept for this was because I do a couple of desserts on my menu, but I wanted to expand it because when it comes to alkaline vegan desserts, they're nowhere in the city. And I just had the thought of insomnia cookie. You're familiar with insomnia cookie? How they're open late, they deliver. Like I used to be, oh my God, I was a fiend for insomnia cookie for 3 weeks straight. Okay. Every day.
Days.
Yes. So, yes. So my idea for that was like, okay, I could do my ice creams, I could do hot, fresh cookies, I could do my fried cakes, my beignets. Like when I tested out my beignets, it blew my mind. I ain't gonna lie. It blew my mind. I was like, why? I don't even understand why people use other ingredients because these are good as I don't know what. Like these are bomb. And then I was giving out free ones so that people could give me their feedback every time with every order.
These free
Well,
beignets?
everybody that placed the order got a free order of beignets. Because, I give free stuff away all the time. All the time. But yeah, that pretty much because of the lack of in the city.
Yeah.
So.
And so the fourth one is this book. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. My trauma cookbook. It's called sorry.
This is adult time for our listeners.
It's called Trauma Confidentiality.
Oh,
thank you. It's pretty much, so in this book, I hit on a lot of, it comes with a workbook as well. So it's like a bio mental type of workbook. It's
I like the word bio-mental.
Yes. So it like starts you from the root of getting to know who you are. You know what I mean? Like it literally takes work to do this workbook. I've given it to a couple of people and they're like, I thought I was going to be able to breeze through this, but this is going deep. So I've gotten some good feedback on it. As far as the book goes, I have over 40 recipes in it. And it's from sauces to desserts to soul food to fried foods, comfort foods, things that, ice creams, some of everything. Okay. In this book. And I go over grounding techniques, meditation techniques, different spices and things that you can eat and put into your food that'll help elevate you mentally. Yeah. I touch on a lot of different things. I tell my story in the book as well. I touch on some points and things that I've been through and how what I've been doing as I tell it in the book has helped me move above and elevate,
I like that concept that you say biomental. I don't know if a lot of our listeners know, but I am a dietitian and a licensed professional therapist.
Nice.
And I often use those too because people don't realize how impactful your mental health body and vice versa. And
exactly.
Then we challenge not in America, but we just have this challenge where when we start to, deal with our trauma, or we're sad or we're depressed or we have anxiety, we have this thing called emotional.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I talk about in the book. Exactly.
Place of emotional eating and everything is connected. It's good that you have this idea that the biological and the mental is together because we separate them. And that's a lot of times why people are so hesitant to talk about their mental health because they see it as separate from their body. And I'm like,
right.
All together in one. They're all together. They all work
because naturally your gut is your first brain. Okay. So if you're not treating your gut, then how do you think this one is going to be any good?
I did a podcast the other day on gut health.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about your brain specifically is connected to your gut. I literally just talked about
yeah. So, exactly. Yes. That's how I break it down in the book too, though. Like how we have different feelings and those different feelings pull us towards certain foods, and I pretty much just break it down on why that's happening, how that's happening, shows you how you can get through certain things by certain foods that you eat and certain things that you do in your daily life and things like that. It's pretty much just given when I started like moving towards more of looking at my situations objectively versus subjectively, my whole world changed.
So wait, got it more. Which one did you say first?
Objectively
Okay.
versus subjectively. It just opened up a whole new mindset, business wise, in my personal life. Like, oh my God, this is how I am where I am right now because of me literally having to work through my mental. You know what I mean? Not just work on it, but through it because I was dealing with a lot of trauma. So just implementing the things that I put in this book, I was like, okay, now I know why I went through this. Like I was looking at all of this as hurts, but really I wasn't finding the gifts in my traumas. And this is the gift in my trauma, this book. It's for me to help other people that have gone through similar or that can relate in some type of way and really want to get up out of it in a way that works, you know? So, because I've tried a lot of things and it was like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah,
But
moving through, like, health is one of the reasons also why we kind of started Graperoots is because there is something therapeutic for us about like getting in the ground, touching the dirt, seeing something from seed to life, and then being able to eat that.
yes.
But I always tell people when I'm talking about mental health and even physical health, let's always to the other side. It's true.
Yep.
We want to go over and under and around. I'm like, it ain't gonna work like that. You gotta go through, and that's the other side.
That's true. That's true.
I'm amazed. I was going to ask you, and I guess this is a good segue from what you just said is, as you've gone through this process of becoming an entrepreneur in this way with so much going on, what do you think the biggest challenges have been?
Keeping my mental focused on the positive things.
Mm-hmm.
I have opening a couple of restaurants at one time and moving as fast as I have moved once I said I'm going to do it to where I am now. Yeah. It's a whole challenge mentally, because you have to be in the right mental space environmentally as well. And for me, I'm not always in that right environmental, good space. So just having challenges mentally and trying to stay positive and just keep eating and practicing the things that I've put, out there for other, just staying with the program, that's because sometimes I'd be like, I should eat some salmon today. When I have an attitude or something like, or people, I feel like people trying me.
I'm already chicken wings. I gotta have some chicken wings.
Yeah, but I rise above it though. So I'm proud of myself, to say the least. I have those mental challenges. It's not easy, especially if most people grew up eating meat. They have all their lives that's what they've been doing. So when you get to a certain age, it's hard to get over the mental aspect of changing what you're about to eat for the rest of your life, So for me, that was the biggest challenge. And it's still a challenge to this day. I'm not saying that it's super easy because it's definitely not. And some of my clients, they have overnight, changed their whole lifestyle. And that's amazing to me. I just wasn't one of those people to do that, and I can admit that, but it's always a everyday work in progress. And I'm just sticking to the plan. And I know if I do that, everything else is going to fall in place like it's supposed to.
Yeah. One of my favorite words when I'm telling people about how to navigate life is practice. Like, but over and over and over again. And
exactly.
Even when you are the best at what you do, like a Kobe, or Michael Jordan, like they still miss shots, they still miss games, but no matter what, they get out there and practice. And overall, wins and they have losses, and that's the goal.
Exactly. You get it.
So if you had some advice for like a new entrepreneur or somebody who's even trying to embark on this journey of, not having meat and trying to go vegan, what would be some advice you would give them?
Honestly, I would, because it's what worked for me. I would tell them to go with what they're familiar with first, to ease them into the lifestyle, because it's like I said, it's not easy. So when you go in with things that you're familiar with, like the burgers and pizza and pastas and stuff like that, it makes the transition easier, because it makes you feel like, oh, okay, I can still have these things, just in a vegan way, so one day at a time, because you'll find that it gets easier over time. With me, it was 2 years to get my stuff together. So for someone that's coming in, it may seem like such a big weight, it's like a heavy something, like, oh my God, I'm about to do this major change. But if you do it in a way that allows you to gradually step away from it, that tends to work a little better. But yeah, just stay the course, one day at a time, man. And just because you may fall or misstep, you can definitely start again in the next hour, the next day, the next week, whenever. It's always a chance to start over.
So what about new entrepreneurs? Young, whether they're middle age, whether they're older, because we can be an entrepreneur at any time. So what would you say advice for someone that wants to start?
Learn what it is that you're passionate about. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, put 1,000% into that. Because I noticed that, some entrepreneurs that I know, they step out because they like to do something, but then later find out that they don't like to really do that. So investigate your craft and look at other businesses to see how it's going. If you're interested in something, make sure it's something that you're truly interested in, because wasted time is wasted time. And maybe that wasted time may teach you something. Hopefully it does, but definitely dive into educating yourself about the thing that you're most interested in, because that's going to help you so much more along your journey when executing that vision that you initially had.
Now, I wish I have so many more questions, but I know more questions. I know our listeners have more questions. And so if they want to learn about you, they want to, get some tacos, get some sweets, groceries, get some sea moss. Tell us where.
So I am in the West End at 777 Oak Street Southwest. It's Oak Street Eats. And you can call it. Well, we don't take call-in orders. I don't want to say that. You can order via the website. You can come into the lobby and place your order. You can place your order via Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates. We're on all the delivery partners. The name of the restaurants is Alkaline Vegan Food Swings. And there's Alkaline Cultured, which is the taco fusion cuisine. And then there is the Alkaline Vegan Grocery, which is a part of Food Swings. On the same website, just different pages of the website, you can order all from one space. So the website is electricfoodswings.com and alkalinecultured.com for the tacos.
I will say this for all of our listeners that are outside of Atlanta, I'm so sorry. Chef Tata is in Georgia, so
we ship our groceries though.
Oh, so, you did?
Yes, we ship our groceries all over the world.
So then give us the website again.
electricfoodswings.com.
So now that you guys know where to find Chef Tata, make
hungry.
sure you guys support her
That made me
all
hungry.
her fabulous concoctions and recipes and how she's been so innovative with your vegan foods. And make sure you check her out. And other than that, it's the turn up.
See y'all in 2 weeks.